Here we will start from first chapter of microcontroller. Here are some necessary tools for microcontroller. That before studying microcontroller, we must have a brief idea about its CPU, central processing unit, that how much speed a CPU that microcontroller 8051 is using, how much speed it has, and obviously input outputs of microcontroller, address bus and data bus, memory obviously RAM and ROM, timer, interrupt, serial port, parallel port, all these are the necessary tools for a microcontrollers. Here we have compared microcontroller with the microprocessor. CPU for computers, we can say a microprocessor is the CPU for a computer. It actually has no RAM ROM input output on a CPU chip itself. We have to add it with the microprocessor externally. Examples of microprocessors are Intel 8085, Intel 8086, Motorola 680X0. These are the examples of microprocessor. In this slide, you can see all the features like RAM, ROM, input output port, timer, serial communication port. All these features had added externally to the CPU. If we talk about microcontroller, micro means very small and controller means a mechanism that controls the operation of the machine. Actually, microcontroller is a smaller device that controls the operation. Microcontroller is a smaller computer that has on-chip RAM, ROM, input output ports. Examples of microcontroller are Motorola 6811, Intel 8051 that we will study in this subject, Zilog, Z8 and PIC. All these are the examples of microcontroller. Here you can see a CPU along with RAM, ROM, input output port, timer and serial communication port on a single chip will form a microcontroller. In the last slide, if you see CPU along with RAM, ROM, input output port, timer and serial communication port, but externally added to the CPU will make a microprocessor. On the other hand, all these features, RAM, ROM, input output port, timer, serial communication port, built up on a single chip with the CPU will form a microcontroller. Here you can see the major difference between the microprocessor and the microcontroller. Left side shows the microcontroller, which is the single chip microcontroller. All is built in a single chip. And microprocessor, on the other hand, is the processor along with the clock, USART, input output interfaces, other peripherals, timer, counter, memory, but externally added with this will form a microprocessor. In this slide, microcontroller is actually the microprocessor along with all these features that has been shown in this slide on a single chip will form the microcontroller. Here are some more points of, that compare the microprocessor with the microcontroller. CPU in microprocessor is the standalone. RAM, ROM, input output ports, timer are separately attached to it. But on the other hand, if we talk about microcontroller, CPU, RAM, ROM, input output timers, all are on a single chip. That is the microcontroller. But in microprocessor, designer can decide the amount of RAM and ROM. But on the other hand, in microcontroller, while manufacturing, the amount you have built up in its RAM and ROM, you cannot change it further. Microprocessors are expensive, more expensive than microcontroller, because all the features we have to add it in it externally. Microprocessors are most commonly used as the CPU in microcomputer systems. But on the other hand, microcontrollers are used in small, minimum component design, performing control oriented applications. Microprocessor, we can say it is for general purpose, and on the other hand, microcontroller, we can say it is for single purpose. If I give example for a microprocessor, a laptop uses the microprocessor. As we perform similar activities simultaneously on the laptop, on the same time we can use our VLC player, same time we can access the internet, same time we can use the PowerPoint presentation, same time we can use the uh, word spreadsheet. But in microcontroller, at a time we have to perform only one single task. Like printer at a time will print a single page. This is the major difference between the microprocessor and microcontroller. Some more difference between microprocessor and microcontroller are: microprocessor instructions are mainly nibble or byte addressable. On the other hand, microcontroller instructions are both bit addressable as well as the byte addressable. Addressable means you can change any bit of the instruction or byte of the instruction. But in microprocessor, if you want to change any instruction, you have to change the whole nibble or whole byte. This is the means of this difference. Microprocessor based system design is complex. On the other hand, microcontroller based system design are simple in nature. For microprocessor, its instruction set is also complex, while microcontroller uses simple instruction sets. On the other hand, microprocessor uses large number of instructions, but microcontroller uses lesser of number of instructions as compared to microprocessor. A microprocessor has zero status flag, but microcontroller has no zero flag. This is also one of the difference in it. Von Neumann architecture is used in microprocessor, but microcontroller uses the hardware architecture. Von Neumann architecture means instructions and data stored in the same memory. Instructions that you gave while you're programming, and the data, same instructions and data can be stored in the same memory space. But in the Harvard architecture that is used in the microcontroller, the instructions and the data both are stored in the separate memory space. That is the difference between the von Neumann architecture and Harvard architecture. Von Neumann architecture is used for the microprocessor, and microcontroller uses the hardware architecture. Here are some types of microcontrollers. Depending upon the bit size, we can say it may be of 8-bit, 16-bit or 32-bit. If we talk about its classification on memory basis, it may be embedded memory based or external memory based. According to instruction set, it is of two types, RISC and CISC. Reduced instruction set for computer and complex instruction set for computer. According to memory architecture, it is also of two types, Harvard and von Neumann. Family of microcontroller are 8051, Motorola, PIC, Hitachi, Texas, ARM, and many other examples as we have studied in the previous slides. Next, here is the microcontroller for embedded system. All the home appliances uses the microcontroller use. Every controlling device you are using now uses the application of microcontroller. In offices, if we see fax machine, microwave oven, photocopier, laser printer, telephones, computers, all uses the application of microcontroller. In automobiles, engine control is also based on microcontroller. Airbags, ABS system, instrumentation, security system, all it is based on the microcontroller in automobiles. Next is the choosing a microcontroller. While selecting a microcontroller, we must have the knowledge about its capacity, that how many bits of microcontrollers are available in the market. Here are some 8-bit microcontrollers. In 8-bit microcontroller, in this subject, we will study Intel 8051, that is the major type of the microcontroller. Next is the 16-bit and 32 microcontrollers are also available. But in this subject, we will study Intel 8051, which is the 8-bit microcontroller. Next is the criteria for choosing a microcontroller. What will be the criteria if we are going to select a microcontroller? Selecting the computing needs of the task at hand efficiently and cost effectively. We should have the knowledge about the speed of the microcontroller, because various speed of the microcontrollers are available in the market. Packaging of the microcontroller, power consumption, the amount of RAM and ROM, all these are the some criteria that we should take care while choosing a microcontroller. Oh. Next is the ability of the software development tools. Whether the software for a particular microcontroller chip are available in the market or not. Here are some companies, a list of companies that actually manufacture the microcontroller 8051. First one is the Intel, Atmel, second Philips, AMD, Infineon, Dallas Semiconductor. Here are some salient features of 8051 microcontroller. 8-bit microcontroller originally developed by Intel company in 1980s. It was the high performance CMOS technology. It has 40-pin DIPIC, dual inline package. Address bus of 8051 is of 16-bit and data bus is of 8-bit. Because data bus of microcontroller 8051 is of 8-bit, that's why 8051 is of 8-bit microcontroller. Also 8051 has 4 kilobytes internal ROM, that is the program memory. Also 8051 has 128 byte internal RAM, that is the data memory. 8051 also has 4 8-bit ports, and 4 8-bit ports makes a total of 32 input-output lines. Also microprocessor 8051 uses 2 timers, each of 2 16-bit timer, each of 8-bit in size, T0 and T1, serial interface communication, 64K external code and data memory space. 8051 implements a separate memory space for program and data. That is the hardware architecture used for 8051. Operating frequency of 8051 is from 24 megahertz to 33 megahertz, and it contains on-chip clock oscillator. 8051 needs plus 5 volt regulated DC power supply for its operation. It is actually based on full duplex UART. It also has 21 special function registers, that is the SFRs, that 8051 uses while performing its operation. Now here comes the 8051 family. The 8051 is a subset of 8052, as we can see in the chart here. And other is the 8031, that is the ROM-less 8051, we also say. In this table, you can see the feature ROM, RAM, timer, input, output, pin, serial port, interrupt sources. And here is the comparison of all of three families, 8051, 8052, and 8031. Actually, 8031 is just the copy of 8051, but in this, there is no ROM. That here shows the 0 kilobyte ROM, that because it doesn't uses any ROM. So we also say it as a ROM less 8051. This is the comparison chart of these three 8051 family. Next, here comes the block diagram of microcontroller 8051. This slide shows the block or architecture of the 8051. Interrupt control, CPU, oscillator, bus control, input output ports, serial port, timer, RAM, ROM. All these makes the block diagram or architecture of the 8051. Now we will study one by one all these blocks in detail. Actually, 8051 is the 8-bit microcontroller. Data larger than 8-bit, if we are going to use, first it has to broken into 8-bit of pieces to be processed by the CPU. 8051 is the subset of 8052. That means programs written for 8051 will run on 8052, but reverse is not true. To use 8031, we have to add external ROM to it because it is ROM-less. Next is the program counter. Program counter actually points to the address of the next instruction to be executed from ROM. It is of 16-bit in size. 8051 can access program address from 0000H to FFFFH, a total of 64 KB of code. Initially, program counter has 4 times 0H. When microcontroller is powered up, program counter has a value of 4 times 0H in it. ORG instruction is used to initialize the program counter. Program counter is incremented after each instruction. This is the pin diagram of 8051, which shows here is that 8051 has a total of 40 pins, 20 in one leg and 20 in another leg. Port 0, port 1, port 2, and port 3. Now we will study the function of each pin in detail here. Both these are the pin detail of 8051. In the right side, at the top, you can see there is a port, that is the port 0, and opposite to it there is a port, that is the port 1. On the right side at the bottom there is a port 2. In and just front of it there is a port 3, just below the port 1. Now next slide here shows the XTL2 and XTL1, that is the on-chip oscillators. The 8051 has an on-chip oscillator but requires external clock to run it. The quartz crystal oscillator also needs two capacitors as shown in the slide here, each of 30 picofarad value. The speed of the 8051 refers to the maximum oscillator frequency connected to it. RST, that is the pin number 9, it is used to reset all the activities that is going to perform via microcontroller. It will reset all the activities. Upon applying a high pulse to this pin, the microcontroller will reset and terminate all the activities. This is often referred to as a power on reset. After resetting the microcontroller, your program counter will reset to 0. That is starting from 0. Next is the EA bar pin number 31. That is the external access. There is no on-chip ROM in 8031 and 8032. So this pin gives the access to access the external memories like a ROM in 8031 case. PSEN bar and ALE are used for external ROM. For 8051, EA bar pin is connected to VCC. Bar means active low. Example, PSEN bar means this is the active low signal. EA is the external access. It is an input pin and must be connected to VCC or ground. Normally, EA bar pin is connected to VCC. EA bar pin must be connected to ground to indicate that the code or data is stored externally. PSEN, program store enable, is an output pin. For external code memory, it is 0, and for external data memory, it is 1. ALE, that is the pin number 30, it is the address latch enable. It is an output pin and is active high. 8051 port 0 provides both address and data. And for demultiplexing of this address and data, we use ALA. It will separate the data and address. Next is the parallel input-output port structure. As we all know, 8051 has 4 8-bit input-output ports. That is the port 0, port 1, port 2, and port 3. Each uses 8 pins. All the ports upon reset are configured as output and ready to be used as input port by the external device. In order to make them input, all the ports must be set to high. Here is the port 0. It is an 8-bit input-output port with dual purpose. Dual purpose means it performs the input-output function. Also, if external memory is used, these port pins are used for address and data. That is the AD0 to AD7. Otherwise, all bits of the port are either input or output. Next is the port 0 is also designated as AD0 to AD7. When connecting an 8051 to an external memory, port 0 provides both address and data. Here we use ALE to separate the data and address. When ALE is equal to 0, it provides data, that is the D2, D0 to D7. If ALE is high, It has address that is from A0 to A7. Next is port 1 and port 2. In 8051 base system with no external memory connection, both P1 and P2 are used as simple input-output port. In 8051 base system with external memory connections, port 2 must be used along with P0 to provide the 16-bit address for the external memory. Port 0 provides the lower 8 bits via A0 to A7, and port 2 is used for upper 8 bits A8 to A15. Next is the port 3. It also performs the dual function. Port 3 is also an 8-bit parallel port with dual function. Pins from 10 to 17. The port pins can be used for input-output operation as well as for control operation. Upon reset, port 3 is configured as an output port. A port is to be used as input port. All the port bits must be made high by sending FF to the same port. Port 3 can be used as input or output. Also, port 3 performs the additional function, providing some external important signals. That is the RXT, TXT, interrupt 0, interrupt 1, timer 0, timer 1, a read and write signal from pin number 10 to pin number 16. Next is the memory space of 8051.